Caitlin Orteza, and I'm running for Vice President Equity. Okay, well, my name is Caitlin Orteza. I am a third-year social work student who's just finishing up my third year, going into fourth. I am a queer, Indigenous, white-passing woman who, over the past 3 years of my schooling, has participated in 2 part-time jobs, full course load, volunteering within the community, trying to have a social life, trying to get 8 hours of sleep. And I know most students would agree with me that it's very hard work to have all of those things, or even half of those things, and make everything smooth. So I definitely empathize with the student experience. I'm living it right now. And I definitely understand that hardworking students definitely want hardworking representatives that will work just as hard as they are at providing appropriate, adequate, accessible resources, services, and events to students that they want. So I'm very excited to hopefully have the opportunity to provide some of that to students and work towards all of the goals that I have coming up in my campaigns. Aside from that, I have a love for coffee that is more intense than anything else, and I think my favorite NSYNC member would have to be Justin Timberlake. But aside from that, I mean, whether I get this position or not, I'm very interested in really researching and getting more involved with all of the equity-based clubs on campus. I know that there's way more than I ever thought that there was, and so I'm very excited to be looking into a lot of those clubs and trying to get more involved with equity-based events on campus. I am running for the position of Vice President Equity with the Slate Student Advocacy Coalition because I love TRU, and I love TRUSU, and I love the services that they provide. And even though this is the only university I've ever been to, and I might be a little biased, I'm very excited to be hopefully participating for my 4th year in the Students Union and everything they do for students. I know that even though I love participating in the Students Union and in the university in general, there have been times when I personally have not felt safe on campus and have been the victim of systemic and institutional oppression and marginalization. And I know I'm not the only student who has ever felt that way on campus. And those experiences just prove to me that there is a lot of work that still needs to be done in terms of equity for all equity constituencies on campus. And I'm very excited and passionate and committed to working not just with women's issues, queer issues, Indigenous issues, and visible racialized minority issues, but also equity-related issues of equity-seeking groups that aren't represented on the Students Union. So people like students who are parents or students who are differently abled. So I'm very excited, and hopefully I'll be given the opportunity to show what I can do. So I have been very lucky to have the opportunity to get involved with TRUSU from day one of my university career, basically. In my first year, I started off very slowly, kind of easing myself into the process, getting involved with some equity-based clubs on campus, familiarizing myself with clubs and how they work, how the grants process works, and events through clubs. And then I started volunteering informally with the equity committee in my first year, specifically related to events that I was particularly passionate about, one of which being the Pride Parade, which I loved participating in. Aside from that, in my second year, I moved up to becoming a member at large, which really gave me a background knowledge that was strong enough for me to feel comfortable running in the elections last year for LGBTQ+ representative, which I feel gave me a strong foundation of information in terms of how TRUSU works, in terms of all of their committees, and how the events work in terms of execution, putting them together, planning, preparation, specifically with the Equity Committee. I feel as though my 3 years of experience with the TRUSU Equity Committee have provided me with a good base in terms of having the knowledge to fully and properly provide supports for all of the equity reps that I would be working with in the Equity Committee.